5 years ago, at the Youth for Christ campground in Honduras, we had a gathering for some of the regional leaders, some of the national leaders in Central America. There was a young man there named David, and he had come all the way from El Salvador to try to find out more about what is this outfit called Youth for Christ. And there was a guy there preaching and speaking and trying to inspire young people to sign up to Youth for Christ. Well, that guy was me. And my message that night was telling a little bit of a story about myself. I used to be a police officer in Canada, and I had the incredible privilege one day, back in the day, of being Queen Elizabeth's bodyguard, of being one of the crew of police officers that kept her safe that day back in Canada. One of my roles was to watch for shooters in the crowd. If somebody had pulled the trigger on the Queen, my role, my training, was to send me to the shooter. In other words, to run to the bullet, which is very counterintuitive. If somebody's shooting at you, what do you feel like doing? You feel like dropping to the ground and cowering. Instead, I was trained to run to the bullet, and as a young police officer, I remember saying in my mind, run to the bullet, run to the bullet, run to the bullet, trying to convince myself that was the right thing to do. And then at this meeting in Honduras 5 years ago, I was telling that story, and I said, that's exactly what Jesus Christ did on the day of on Palm Sunday. He rode into Jerusalem, and he literally was running to the bullet. He knew what was to come. And he did that for all of us. Well, this same young man, David, from El Salvador, met with me just a few weeks ago. So 5 years later, fast forward to our conference, Latin American conference in Brazil, and he said to me, I will never forget that message about running to the bullet. Almost every day that I serve the Lord through Youth for Christ, I get death threats. People threaten my life. I've been surrounded by gunfire. I've been in a lot of tough predicaments because of the gangs, the maras. But I just keep reminding myself every day, Jesus rode into Jerusalem running to the bullet for me. Am I willing to run to the bullet for him? Be encouraged by stories like this. These staff of Youth for Christ are men and women of whom the world is not worthy. And we're a part of this great team, this great movement of God on behalf of a generation.